What's the most real relationship advice you can give?
Mate treats others. Waiters, people in the drive-thru when getting fast food, other people in line at the grocery store, their family members, etc. Pay particular attention to how they treat people over whom they have a social advantage. Subordinates, employees, the uglier, awkward friend, and so on. Do they talk behind their backs? Do they mock them? Do they give a look of disgust when they turn away? That's how they're going to eventually treat you. If you go into a marriage, long-term commitment with the impression that you'll be happy all the time and your life will only change for the better, you are absolutely wrong. Be realistic that there will be days you won't be able to stand each other. Your lives may absolutely hit rough patches, and you will not agree on how or why that situation occurred, or even how to get out of it, and the like. A 90-year-old woman told me on the day of her 70th wedding anniversary that they had stayed together so long because they make each other laugh every day. Sounds like a good life. Sometimes you have to spend years with shitty people to realize what you deserve. It was never a waste. You needed the experience to figure out what works best for you or what to avoid. You'll never forget your exes. They were there for a reason. I have been married for 28 years. When I was engaged, a dear lady, then in her 80s and still very much in love with her husband of 60-plus years, told me this. Just because he is your husband, don't think he requires less regard than your friends. Before you yell at him for something, anything, ask yourself if you would yell at your friend for the same thing. What she was trying to say is that being married, together, is not a free pass to stop being a decent human being. You are going to get annoyed by the socks on the floor, but is it an excuse to fly off the handle? Respect and common courtesy are my recommendation. And you don't need to keep score. There's no winner. Don't expect the other person to be able to read your mind. Be a team, not opponents. Everybody farts at some point. Your partner should also be your best friend and somebody you can have fun with, as if you were both still children. Want to fuck that hot chick over there? Jerk off. Don't cheat. It can really fuck with someone mentally. If you don't want to be with a person anymore, just tell them. Was with some friends from the gym who all have wives, and I dared them to text just, "I love you" to their wives. We were at a bar, so they all agreed. 2 got texts asking what was wrong, and 1 got a phone call. You are never obliged to stay in a relationship. Doesn't fucking matter what someone has threatened. If you aren't happy, fuck them. Guys, if your phone also keeps saying there is no storage left and your gallery is packed with receipts, screenshots, duplicates, and random stuff, Whoosh Smart Cleaner actually helps. I used it to find huge videos and photos I took a couple of years ago and completely forgot about. They were just sitting there, taking up space, syncing to iCloud, and I was basically paying to store things I did not need anymore. Plus, after cleaning it up, my phone felt noticeably less sluggish. And the best part is that you do not have to sit there choosing every photo by hand. You just swipe left or right, like in a dating app. Delete or keep. That way you clean your camera array quickly without all the extra hassle. Link in the description. When I was younger and dumber, I stayed in a relationship that became a failed marriage, even after saying to his face, "If you ever treat me the way you treat your mom, I'm gone." Spoiler alert, he did eventually treat me the same shitty way he treats his mom, and now I'm gone. Don't waste 10 years learning the same lesson. My husband and I have to check each other every once in a while. For some reason, it seems like I'm meaner to my husband when my family is around, and he is meaner to me when his family is around. We came up with a phrase that we whisper if we're in public. Quit being an asshole. We use it to remind the other to be nice without having to justify ourselves at the moment. It really works, because if he says it to me, I automatically check myself, even if I don't think I'm being mean. I love him, and I never intend on coming off as an asshole. You may be super compatible in every way, and they may make you feel like you've never felt before. That still doesn't mean it would work out. They might not love you the same way. Everyone has their own demons, and sometimes they spill out and sour the relationship, even when no one wants it to happen. You can only let go and stop clinging to your memory of that person. Focus on the important thing. When my significant other and I first got together, we fought quite a bit. Despite being very different people, we agreed on many things and mostly found the same things funny. And the snusno was great. However, the places where we didn't fit so well generated a lot of sparks. After one bad fight that had us not talking to each other for a week, we got together and decided that the important thing was us, together. We wanted to be together, and so we made a decision to never let an argument escalate to that point again. What's more important, winning a fight or being with the person that makes you happy? That didn't magically solve our problems. We still have disagreements and arguments and shouting matches, but we know what's more important. Next month is our 10-year anniversary. There's a reason it's called the honeymoon phase, and eventually you won't have as much to talk about other than how the day went, or might not always feel those butterflies in your stomach when you think about them. That's when it becomes a test in the relationship, and you both have to work on it to make it work. You will get into fights, but learn to get over them, or I doubt it'll last. Resentment can kill feelings for someone. Edit. I wanted to add, I am not a love/relationship expert by any means. I'm just going off of things I've seen and gone through with my own husband, so RIP my inbox. I also wanted to say thank you for my first ever silver and first ever gold. That was unexpected, and I really appreciate it.
Listen. No. Stop talking. Advice isn't wanted here. Just listen. Really listen. Listen like it's the last thing you'll hear. Listen and take in each word's meaning as it comes to you. Listen like you do to the lyrics of your favorite song you want to sing along to. So few people really listen to what their partner is telling them. They spend too much time listening to the sound of their own voice in their heads as it's coming up with how they want to respond. Stop. Listen. My mom asked an elderly couple who had been married for decades what their secret was. They said that they act as if being nice to each other is a competition. That has always stuck with me.
A study of long-term relationships found that successful relationships have one major thing in common. The spouses are verbally supportive of each other's interests and thoughts. For example, if your spouse is very excited about Pokemon Go and wants to tell you all about the monsters they caught that day, the supportive spouse would listen to them talk about it and be excited for what they are excited about, even if they don't know how the game's played or think that it's stupid. The couple that's going to divorce, that other spouse would say, I don't care, that game is for kids, or be generally dismissive of the conversation and change topics. Support what they are excited about as much as you can, even if it's just listening with a smile on your face while you do a shopping list in your head.
It's fine to not always want to spend 100% of your time with your spouse. Not every moment of every day is going to be bliss, and sometimes it really takes some effort. I love my wife to bits, but there are some days when I would just like to do things by myself. It doesn't mean our relationship isn't great, but it can be really refreshing to just take a stroll around a shopping center or go and get some food alone or something.
Relationships are not there to fix you. If you aren't happy with yourself, the relationship won't make that a reality. When you want your partner to be fit, attractive, and dress well, don't forget that they want that as well. Want the best for the other person, not for yourself. That's why jealousy is poison. You want your significant other to look good, but only for you? Get a clue. Give them something to want in return. Be a success. Take care of yourself. Learn something every day. Don't waste your time. Be kind and demonstrate that daily. You get what you give. Do the dishes. Learning how to be bored together is important. You don't have to be on the go, doing stuff and planning stuff and being fun and exciting all the time. It's okay to just sit around and not do anything and not talk to each other. It's not unhealthy, I promise.
This was one of the biggest things I learned when I moved in with my SO, and what I give as advice to couples just moving in, especially when it's their first time living with an SO. You have to learn how to be in the same room without actively hanging out together. When your whole relationship has been dates, it's hard to just be without feeling like you should be interacting. Getting comfortable just chilling there doing your own thing is a good thing.
This is where I think a lot of people miss the point. Everyone seems to automatically infer that it's physical intimacy that is important. Intimacy is emotional. It's meaningful and vulnerable sharing of one's inner self. It's not sex stuff. That's not hard. Real intimacy is hard. And it's super fulfilling to be intimate with your partner.
Healthy boundaries. It's important to be supportive when your partner is going through a hard time. However, it's not healthy to take on your partner's burdens as your own. Analyzing the unhealthy patterns in your early relationships can be helpful for figuring out difficulties you may have in this area. If you're starting to doubt a relationship, do not drag it out. End it so you don't waste precious time finding someone who is a better fit.
There's so much pressure to do stuff, especially in the age of social media. Other couples do stuff all the time. Everyone is looking for adventures. We must keep up with the carefully manufactured images other people put out on Instagram. In reality, it's not necessary and can often be a serious source of stress. My husband has been playing Ark all day. I've been on Reddit or playing The Sims. We watched a couple episodes of 10th Kingdom earlier, and that's all we've done together today. We're in the same room, but we're not doing the same things. This is not a bad thing. It's called being comfortable together.
Don't argue if you're hungry or tired. Don't argue if you're angry about something else that they have nothing to do with. Don't argue if you're distracted by something else. Don't argue over texts, PMs, etc. Don't argue about things neither of you can control. Take a nap, get some food, let other things pass. If it's still a problem, then argue. But most importantly, own your mistakes. You fucked up, admit to it, and move forward. When you disagree, remember that you're on the same team. You're supposed to fight a problem, not the other person. Love is a choice, not a feeling. Not talking about sexuality here. The butterflies go away eventually. It's inevitable. But you can choose to be committed anyway and build something beautiful together.
Don't go to sleep angry is bullshit, especially if you have little kids. If you and your partner are sniping at one another, disengage and get some sleep, if it's possible. Most of the fights my husband and I ever had was because one or both of us were exhausted and or hangry. Some relationships aren't meant to be permanent. Some friends, family, and lovers are only supposed to be in your life for a short time. They will impact your life, for better or worse, but don't feel obligated to keep them around forever. This too shall pass. Go on holiday together. If you can agree on food, sleep soundly, compromise on activities, and do your own thing one of the days and not get mad at each other, you stand a good chance of lasting a while. I love my boyfriend to bits and miss him a lot. We don't live together yet, but boy, do I like sleeping on my own in bed sometimes. Space is healthy. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you have to live in each other's pockets.
Relationships are work. They aren't always fun, you won't always be madly in love, and you can't put them on a shelf and ignore them. I think it's so important to have your own social lives and circles, but I see so many couples who bring their partner to everything, to the point that they are basically a part of every social group that person is in. Where does that person then have an escape? When can they go out with their friends without the other one feeling bad for not being invited? Keep your own circle. If you are having doubts that the person you are with isn't the right partner for you, that's a pretty good sign that they aren't. To clarify, a bit of doubt is normal sometimes. But if you find yourself questioning your relationship more than just a couple of times, it's not worth it. Move on and find happiness. In an ideal relationship, the contributions are 60-40, where both partners are the one trying to give 60%. Don't lose yourself as an individual in a relationship.
I love the comfort stage. The butterflies are great and all, but being in a constant state of infatuation would get exhausting after a few years. It's so nice to do absolutely nothing with your person, or not see them for a day or two if you don't live together, and still be completely content with them. If you feel like you're having a hard time getting a girlfriend or boyfriend, then you're doing it wrong. It's not something to get, it's a vibe you have with someone, and it's not promised. Thanks for watching. Tell me in the comments which story you like the most, and make sure to watch the other videos too. There are more good stories there.